Gerstner, who's from the University of Cincinnati in the United States, and he will tell us a very personal story about living with EOB.
Yes, thank you for that introduction. Like she said, my name is Eddie Gerstner, and I'm an undergraduate from the University of Cincinnati. Before I get started, I'd like to ask you all a very simple question. Think about what your favorite food is. Maybe it's ice cream, maybe it's cake, maybe it's all these wonderful cheeses I keep seeing all around France. Whatever you just said, it's very likely I have never eaten it. And a lot of you might be wondering, why is that? When I was born, I was allergic to basically everything. Eggs, wheat, soy, peanuts, tree nuts, and worst of all, milk. It was a pretty hard childhood, I will not lie. But as I got older, I outgrew everything except milk. Milk was my foe. It was a tough life. Everybody associates with allergies. Can you eat this? Can you not eat this? But it is so, so much more than that. Yes, that is me with the yellow arrow. Thank goodness for puberty and orthodontics. I was not the best looking child. But hey, here I am now. But like I said, allergy was way more than just could I eat this or could I not eat this. It has so many social implications that a lot of people never think about. I didn't go on my first sleepover until I was 12 years old. No parents wanted to have me over at their house. They didn't want to be responsible for potentially killing a kid. Eating out was even worse. Trying to explain to somebody that I can't have butter, margarine, cheese is horrible, then let alone trying to explain to them what cross-contamination is and that my food needs to be cooked somewhere clean. And then birthday parties, those were a no-go. Cake and ice cream, like, come on, I can't do that. Even at school, my allergy touched my life. I had to sit at what was deemed the special table. What that was, if you're wondering, nothing special about it. I sat alone by myself while all my other classmates got to socialize and have fun. So I had a really isolated childhood. And on top of that, I was bullied. I was different. I had to carry EpiPens around. I had a beautiful little fanny pack that had my EpiPens, any medicine that I could possibly need at any time. And people looked at me different and made fun of me. Just to show you how horrible my life was, I tell this one story. So imagine you're 17 years old. You take this beautiful girl on a date. You're like, oh my gosh, I might get my first kiss. This is amazing. Although you didn't realize she just had milk. So you were about to go in, heat of the moment, you're gonna kiss, and then you realize, oh my God, I'm gonna have an anaphylactic reaction if you don't go brush your teeth. So instead of kissing her, you ask her to brush her teeth. Imagine that for your first kiss, right? Great story. But no, I did not enjoy the life I had. I wanted to be normal. I wanted to be like every other kid out there. So I did something that my doctors called stupidity, but I named it the milk sommelier. What I would do is I was so allergic, I could take a food, and if I didn't know what was in it, I could touch it to my tongue. And if my tongue got hot, I knew right away I couldn't eat it. If my tongue didn't, I'd go ahead, eat it, and go on living life. This worked until 24 hours after that photo was taken. I was at a party on a Sunday and ate a piece of bread that contained milk. I touched it to my tongue, it didn't get hot, and I ate it. Unfortunately, it was non-fat dry milk and my body did not have time to break it down. I went into the ICU on a Sunday night. I was intubated, and then I woke up Thursday morning, thankfully being alive. It was one of the hardest moments, not for me because I don't remember any of it, but for my parents and everybody close to me. When I woke up, I was dazed and confused. I still thought it was Sunday, but it was Thursday morning. I look at this picture all the time and realize how lucky I am to be alive. Every doctor I talk to tells me I should have died, but I'm not. And I'm still here for a reason, and that's to share my story. The very next day, well, a few weeks following, I had my allergy consultation to talk about what had just happened. And I deemed this visit my celebrity visit. Because unlike every other time I'd ever gone to the doctor where you have to wait for them, I walked in the door and there were already 4 doctors, a ton of nurses, and a massive TV with the letters OIT. I had no idea what this was. But after them describing what oral immunotherapy was, without hesitation, I said, yes, I want to do something that's gonna make me not be allergic to milk and have a great quality of life. So the next 7 years were quite tumultuous. I started with a 1/1000th dilution on my skin, and in 2019, I worked all the way up to being able to ingest 8 ounces of milk. Through the EpiPen injections, the ER visits, the lack of sleep, and just hard conversations, we were able to persevere to 8 ounces of milk in 2019. It was great. I could go out to eat. I could kiss girls without having to ask them to brush their teeth. It was a lot of fun. Until around 2020, something started to happen. I started to get these symptoms I never had before. I was vomiting blood, I was getting extreme heartburn, and food was getting stuck in my throat. As many of you can imagine, the good old eosinophil started to kick in. I was diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis. We stopped OIT immediately, and fast forward a few years, we're still trying to figure out what to do. I no longer do OIT, but my EOE is still bad, but that's okay. I've lived a great life. That is the girl in the pink dress that I did kiss on my first date. We're still dating her, so it must not have gone that bad, right? I've gone to college. I even work in a leading eosinophilic esophagitis lab, Dr. Marc Rothenberg's lab. I'm now a part of it. My life hasn't been what I wanted it to be, but it's been a ride, and it's been one that I love to share with people. Yeah, that's me at my latest allergy visit. Still allergic to milk. We did a skin test, if any of you guys were wondering. But growing up, one of my favorite songs is by the Rolling Stones, because I thought it applied to me. You can't always get what you want. I didn't want to be allergic to milk. I didn't want this life, but it's something I had to live with. And if I had just been a little bit smarter and listened to the rest of the lyrics of that song, but if you try, you might find you get exactly what you need. That's where I am today. I am able to present my story and hope to teach people what it's like to live with a disease that you can't control. I've just applied to medical school in hopes of being able to once in my life be able to help people go through the same exact